Were you ever so excited to start with a puzzle and life just kept on throwing curveballs at you and you weren't able to touch that puzzle for a couple of days? That was the case for me. It started with a 2 day power outage and another 2 days of personal stuff, and I just couldn't get around to start this puzzle. But today is the 5th of December and I am eventually able to start. So I'm very excited. I got my secret word, which is skate, and I have to add 3 coins for the secret objects, and I will use that for my progress photos. So I'm very excited to start with this one. And why this one? Because of all the puzzles I have to do this holiday. One of my friends wants to borrow this one, and I told her I will start with this one so that she also have time to complete it. So without further delay, let's get started. So after the fact, me decided to include some voiceovers for some part of this video. So first of all, you will see that I had to glue some pieces that came apart. The front came off from the backings. Luckily, it was only 5 pieces, so that wasn't too big of an issue, and I was able to save this puzzle. And in the end, it was complete. So I'm very happy about that. You will hear me mention that I struggled quite a bit with the beginning of this puzzle. It took me a while to wrap my head around the curvy and cut out edges, but once I got that figured out, it went faster. And again, as always, as soon as I've got more pieces connected, I've got more to work from. So that helped a lot to start just randomly in the middle of the puzzle. I decided not to start with the edge. I knew it would take me days if I wanted to complete the edge first. And then I want to take your attention to that yellow pile there on the right hand corner. The previous owner of this puzzle did not take out that pieces when they packed it up, so that was mixed in with the puzzle pieces. So as I flipped all the pieces, I just put them to the side, and I decided that I will toss this out when I pack up the puzzle. I will not keep it for the next person or for me for the next time that I assemble it. So I will just throw away that pile of yellow pieces. So my little nephew visited us over the weekend that I did this puzzle, and on the next day's time lapse footage, you will see that it kept him busy for quite some time as he tried to put those pieces back into the puzzle where they belong. So I'm actually quite glad that I didn't toss the pieces before I started with the puzzle, and that I was able to keep my little nephew busy for a couple of minutes there. So, taking into consideration the tricky level of this puzzle, I was quite happy with my first day's progress. Okay, so more or less 5 hours, 7 minutes in, this is where I'm at. And I must say, with the initial confusion about what is going on with this cutouts here, I am eventually happy with my progress. It was a very slow start, so I hope I will be able to finish this tomorrow morning. But it's late now, just after 9. And I determined that that will not be necessary for assembling this puzzle, so I will just toss that when I'm done. But yeah, guys, I'm going to bed now, and I will see you tomorrow bright and early. So good morning. It is Saturday, the 6th of December, and my mission for the morning is to just complete this puzzle. If not in the morning, then at least today. But I would love to start with another puzzle later this afternoon. This one, I must say, is a little bit more tricky than I expected, but still a fun puzzle. I love the challenge. A very new concept to me, this cutouts, and it took me a while to wrap my brain around what is happening here. But in the end, I'm loving it. So hopefully the second half of this will go faster than the first half. So yeah, let's finish this one up and see if I can get to start a new one. So at 7 hours 27 minutes, that second half definitely went faster than the first. It is absolutely gorgeous now that it is finished. I absolutely love it. And as tricky as it was, I thoroughly enjoyed the process of putting this one together. And just look, there's a kitty cat. I love the teddy bears. There's another one down here. And of course, I need to mention the pups as well. So yeah, I love the image. I love the challenge element it had with the border. It's the first time I did this cut out border and I enjoyed it, even though it took me some time. But yeah, I am ready to start with the second puzzle for the Winter Puzzle Olympics. The photos for the first puzzle is up and I'm ready to start with the second one. And even though this one has got fewer pieces, I assume it will take me equally as long, if not longer. But yeah, this is the one I'm going to do next. So without further delay, let's start with it. As I started with this puzzle, I realized that everything about the pieces felt familiar. And I can only assume that this is one of the brands that I grew up with puzzling. I can't remember which brands was available in my very younger years, but the pieces, the shape, the roundness of some of the corners felt familiar. So I assume this MB Puzzles was one of the brands I assembled growing up. And I don't know if it's because of the familiarity of the puzzle pieces, but I didn't struggle with this one as much. The sky had enough of a gradient in it to help me to assemble that sections with the trees. There was the line between the trees and the mountains that was a very good starting point to start from. And once I've got that line in, it was easy enough to just complete the sky. And then from there, I just work downwards from the mountain to where the mountain touches the buildings, and then from the buildings down. So, all in all, a difficult puzzle, yes. It's definitely not an easy one, but there was enough to make this very doable, very enjoyable. And in the end, it did not take me as long as I expected. I am glad that this was only 750 pieces and not 1,000 pieces. I think another 250 pieces would have made somewhat of a difference in my assembling time. So, in the end, I was able to finish this in an afternoon, and I'm very thankful for that. Okay, so I managed to finish that one under just 5 hours. So I'm very happy with that. And it's an absolutely beautiful winter scene. I love it. It was a joy to assemble. And number 2 done for the Winter Puzzle Olympics. So I am going to call it a day. So I will see you guys tomorrow for my third puzzle. And I still need to decide which one I will do. But yeah, tomorrow bright and early, I will start with another. Good morning and welcome to Sunday, the 7th of December. Today I will start the third puzzle for the Winter Puzzle Olympics. It's this one by Heye. It's a funky zoo puzzle. And after two tricky puzzles, I think it's time for a fun one. And I will do some pick and place for this one. And I've got nothing that rushes me, so I will take my leisurely time on this and just enjoy the process. So let's get it started. So, in case you didn't know, cartoon puzzles are among my favorites, and the pick and place method is also one of my favorite puzzle methods. In this case, the previous owner took out the edge pieces before she packed up the balance of the puzzle. So I started with the edge since it was already out, and from there I just did the pick and place. So take a handful of puzzles, look where it fits in the image on the box, and then place it more or less where I think it will go. You will see that as I recognized the sky pieces from the box, I took those out earlier and I tried to finish that top two lines. It was quite easy because the one line is basically blue and the second line is a blue greenish tint to it. So those two were quite easy, even though there was no detail to follow. Luckily, it was only the two lines, so that came in quite nicely. Further from there on, I just take out pieces from the box, added them on the board or on the table where I thought they might go. And it was quite early that I started to assemble little islands. And again, as soon as there is a couple of islands, you've got something to work off from. And it just grew and grew from there. I don't know why, but yeah, usually I'm not a big sorter. I really don't like sorting. So usually I will just flip all the pieces and I love being able to see all the pieces. It would have worked for this puzzle as well. But for the busy images, I find that I really enjoy the pick and place method. And this one was no exception. The image was very detailed, very beautiful. I had tremendous amounts of fun with this one. And I think I've got one more cartoon puzzle left, so I will probably do that one in between or after a couple of difficult ones, which I've got more of this year. So there is one more pick and place cartoon puzzle in my holiday plans. But yeah, I'm glad I managed to kind of catch up with the puzzle schedule, and I'm three puzzles in, and I'm very much looking forward to start with the next ones. Okay, so 4 hours, 30 minutes in, I finished this one, and as always, I absolutely enjoyed this one. All the fun detail in here, it was a pleasure to assemble this puzzle. Absolutely loved every minute of it. And after two tricky puzzles, this was very nice. So yeah, I might actually wrap up the video here. So I will see you guys then in a next video for the next puzzle. Okay, so for this video, I added music to the time lapses. So please let me know if you prefer me to talk about something during the time lapses or if it's okay to do the music, as I prefer not to do brand and artist reviews during the Puzzle Olympics. I do this for my fun. Um, I won't be talking about brands and artists and stuff like that. So I will get something to talk about if it is something you prefer. If you are okay with the music and the Christmas carols, then that's what I'll do. And then I think I will end the video here. I've got one more week left of work and I'm not sure what curveballs will hit during this week. So to ensure that I've got a video available for the next weekend or this weekend, I'm going to stop the video here and I will start a new video with the next puzzle, which will be the fourth one. I've got 7 more left, and I'm very excited to get to them all. If not this week, I should get a bunch of them done while I'm on holiday. So that is it for this video, and I would just like to say thank you so much for joining me in this journey of the Winter Puzzle Olympics. I appreciate your time watching this video. So take care, and I'll see you in the next one.